All right, once I've built my basic worksheet, and again, this is where students will be working, and I've completed it with the answers, and I've given any types of notations that I want for the students, I'm going to take that data, and I always work from column A on over, and I typically skip column A just so I have a nice border for when I'm recording. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to copy it right over to column AAA. I try to just go with A's and AAA's because I know then that if this is cell C7, for some reason, I know this is AC7. You don't have to copy it over that way, but that's the way I choose to do it. Now we're going to go ahead and apply our conditional formatting. I'm going to come over here, highlight all the cells where my student answer fields are, and I'm going to come up to Home, Conditional Formatting, highlight cell rules if the cell is equal to, and I can type in right here equals cell B16 because that was my top cell up here, or I can scroll over. Notice if you scroll over, it'll put in dollar signs. You can't have the dollar signs because that's your absolute cell reference, and we want these relative cell references. So we're going to remove those. So equals AB16. And I know I've correctly applied the conditional formatting because everything in this highlighted area is equivalent to my solutions field. I don't want a light red fill with dark red text. My custom format I go with is I'm going to remove the strike through. It's bold, and the color I go with is a dark blue. I can hit OK and OK. Now notice, it has done the conditional formatting and everything, and I don't really want it in everything. I want this other text to be black. So I'm going to clear the conditional formatting from the selected cells. I'm going to highlight that same range. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to highlight the cells where I want to keep my conditional formatting. I find this is the most efficient way to go about this. Now I'm going to remove the conditional formatting from all of these selected cells. So come back up to conditional formatting, clear rules from selected cells, and there I have it. Next step, I'm going to hide these columns because I don't want students to be able to find them. So come up to the top, and I'm going to put a white font on a white background, and I'm going to get rid of all of my borders, and I typically narrow down the columns just in case somehow they manage to reveal stuff. I've just got them narrowed down here. I'll narrow down a few more, and then I'm just going to right click, hide. All right, before we actually put down our protection to keep students from screwing up our worksheet and our conditional formatting, we're going to need to protect the entire worksheet and then unprotect the cells that we want students to be able to enter data into. So we'll come up here, select the entire worksheet. I can right click, format cells, come over to protection, and I'm going to lock the entire worksheet. Now, later on, when I protect the worksheet, students won't be able to enter data anywhere on this worksheet or access these hidden solution fields. Now, of course, I want them to be able to input data in the answer section. So I will highlight that section of the worksheet. I typically make sure I highlight the area where I'm going to paste my YouTube link because I want them to be able to click there. So highlight those columns, right click, format cells, protection, and I'm going to clear the checkbox. Last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here to review. I'm going to protect my worksheet. Typically I let them select both lock cells and unlock cells. That's in case I've locked these data fields up here. I want them to be able to click on them. And I always put in a password. It'll ask you to confirm it. And then the last step is to come along and delete the student solutions. I'll typically come over here somewhere and I get a pop-up message. I can't make changes to that part of the worksheet. A last step I often do for my workbooks is on the very first tab of the worksheet, I will hide somewhere up here in a white font on a white background. I'll just type in fall 2022 or whatever semester it is. And that's sort of and I put that again, a white background and a white font. And the last step I do is I come down here and I set a particular tab color for each semester. This makes it easier for me to tell if a student is turning in a worksheet from a prior semester. So I select multiple worksheet tabs. And then I right-click on the tabs and pick a tab color. Maybe I make the fall semester a blue. And then if for some reason, and I've never had students think or realize anything about tab colors, but that way when I pull up a worksheet, I can very quickly see if it's from a prior semester, and I make it very clear to students they can't turn in worksheets from prior semesters. So once you've built your worksheet, you've protected the worksheets, you have changed the colors on the tabs for all the worksheets, you can also protect the workbook. That way students can't get in and change the tab colors. Again, go up to Review, Protect Workbook, and I'm done. And again, of course, if this was a completed version, I would have deleted all of the student answers throughout this worksheet before saving it for the students to work.